briefly talk about the reason we want to use an R script. Writing in an R script isn't the only way to execute code in R. If I wrote a line that we've already done, like California schools, here just in the console, and I execute it by just hitting enter, I would get the same output. I would get it, it'll execute the commands directly in the console. The reason we want to do that in an R script is first because it allows us to save our work. In the same way that you wouldn't write an essay and then not save it to edit it later. You can write in the R script and edit it later, pull it back up, and use what you're writing again later. And so let's save this file. To do that, I just click on the floppy disk icon. I'll save it to my desktop as code. We can save that. And now we've done all of this output. We've done all this work here in R, but I can just close it. I'll close it. I won't save any of it. And when I click on this code file, it'll reopen the code that I've written, and I can go and quickly rerun all of it. I have all of the data I created, everything I've done. The other big advantage is that I can comment the data too, or I can comment the code. And so I can take a command that I've written here, names, and I can write a description for myself so that I remember exactly what I did or why I wanted to use that command. In order to comment the code, you don't want to just write in your R script, because R is going to try and process everything you write as code. And if it sees something that isn't code, it's not going to know what to do with it. But if I write a hashtag, I can write whatever I want, and R will skip over trying to execute whatever I write. And so I enter a hashtag. You can see that it turns slightly green, which is sort of to signal you that R is using it in a different way than all of the other text you're writing. And so I can comment what this line of code is doing. And so this prints names of columns in data. And now I have this sort of brief reminder of what that command did. I can go here and I can say prints bottom lines of data. And I can come up here and I can say reads in data from GitHub. And so you could imagine, as you're working through a class, building out one file with all of the code that you've been processing and all of these descriptions as sort of a shorthand study guide later as you're working back through some of the material. Because a lot of these commands are going to keep coming up every week. Now that we know how to read data in, every week we're going to be reading in data. Every week we're going to keep doing these same things. And so both the ability to save it in case your computer shuts down, you don't want to lose the work you've done, but also in order to build out this sort of brief reminder of the work you're learning.